Okay, the impressive program that I'm going to show you is nothing other than Microsoft Word. It has a lot of pre-built components in it that are unfamiliar to, I would probably say, the majority of users. The first thing we want to do with this is to remove the page number up here. And the best way to do that is to make sure that you have your paper in two sections. Let me explain what that is. I just pressed enter down here so that I have a blank spot. And in that I'm going to say insert, as you can see, a break. But I do not want a next page or a page break. I want a continuous break. Continuous break is not observable until you hit the header. So I'm going to hit continuous. Now you don't see, it doesn't look like there's a break, correct? So if I double click on the header here, this says section 1, this is section 3, which means there was already a 2 in there. What I want to make sure is that this one does not link to the previous. So it says link to previous up here. Uncheck. Now it's not linked to the previous page. I'm going to click out of it, go up to the top of this one, delete one. And now it starts on 2. There will be multiple pages prior to this that will require Roman numeral numbering, and so that will have to be its own section as well. So since you already have a section 2, now you have a section 3. I don't know if 2 even exists anymore after that act on my part, but you can do it from the original. So now when it comes to the actual table of contents component, you're going to have yet another section and another page. So let's go ahead and go into insert page break. We want to shift it down because here's going to be our table of contents, which this would be probably Roman numeral. Well, it'll be after your dedications and things of that sort. Let's just pretend that we've already done all that. So your table of contents are called references instead of TOC, which would be so much easier for us. We go to references, and then it says table of contents. Oh, right over here in the corner. What do you know? So, and then it gives us styles. So, the a simple format, the classic format, is the one I would suggest. So I say, okay, creating a table of contents. Start by applying a heading style from the styles gallery. Okay, I can see it says there's no tables, no table of contents entry found. What it's referring to about the styles is this. As you're aware, up here at the top you have a styles pane. So we have chapter 1 and we have introduction, and they're both on the same page. However, this has to be H1, which is level 1. I'm sorry, header 1. So in header 1, we can click it and we could say that's not the style I want it to be. I don't want it to look like that. What I want style 1 to be, or header 1, I want it to be, and I'm going to modify the style over here, and I'm going to say I want it to be header 1 APA. How's that? And then I want it to be based on normal, and it has to be Times New Roman. There we go, finally. and we want it to be set. This one we want to be centered, and we want it to be black. So now suddenly we have a style that's already going to be. So I'm going to add it to the template. There. There's our chapter 1 introduction. Then on introduction we can say that we want it to be 2, for instance. If so, then I would have to go to header 2 right here. Then I have to tell it, okay, well, header 2 has its own style too. So I want to modify header 2. So I go over where it says header 2, click the drop down, modify the style, change it to black, and I would also suggest that you check the introduction if it's to the left or centered. I believe if it's level 1, it's centered. Just something I want to throw in there. I'm doing this strictly for the sake of showing you how to change the styles for each one. Even if it's this will be introduction will be level 1. I'm showing you how to do 1 and 2 just in one place. So it's Times New Roman, size 13. No, that's not okay. Has to be size 12, which makes me think that I need to go back and look at header 1 and just double check on that as well. They have to be size 12 all throughout. So it's there. We're going to go ahead and center it because we both know that it's supposed to be centered. Well, I'm going to call it that. This one looks like it's oversized. It's size 16. We have to change the header from 16 to 12. So header 1 APA, modify, and let's change it down to a 12. And then add a template. Okay. Now we've got 1 and 2. What you have to do from that point on is go through your writing, go to headers. This is a level 2, we know that. So we just hit header 2, and there we are. If you find that it is okay to bold it, go ahead and just hit the B and then go on. Research questions, header 2. Definition of terms, header 2. Now if you need to change the distance, like hold your shift key down and press enter. Whoa, what happened? Sorry. Shift enter, and it gives it that much space. It gives it the equal amount of space that you would normally have in a double spacing. If you hold the shift key down when you press enter. This is thrown off somehow. So I'll just bring this chapter back up. So we have another header 1. We know that chapter 2 is a header 1. So we click header 1. Review of literature, a level 1. And now let's see what all that does. Go back to your table of contents, that blank space, and right click and say update my field or update field, sorry. And look what we have. We have your table of contents. And they are starting to appear with the page numbers and all. So that's how you do it. If you have any more questions on this, now keep in mind I did introduction as a level 2 just to demonstrate. That's why it is indented. So you just go back and change it to 1, and it will center it and so forth. Now these are not Times New Roman, so you will have to edit the table content style to Times New Roman. Everything is Times New Roman. So I'm going to save this as a sample, send it back along with the video link. I capitalize the sample because I don't want it to be to accidentally insert it into your actual dissertation. Okay, it looks like that's it for now.